Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss summary writing, which is a very important question that are asked in IGCSE ESL exam. So, what we are going to do today is we explain what are the mark criteria, that means content and language, and how to do summary writing very effectively so that we can achieve the full marks, 7 to 8 marks. So first of all, I can explain what are the differences in the marking criteria and the marks. For the core students, it is 12 marks, including 6 marks for the content and 6 marks for the language. Whereas for the extended student, it is 8 marks for content and 8 marks for language. So today what we are going to do is we are just explaining what are the guidelines and the strategy for doing the summary writing activity very effectively. So we can enter to that part. Summary writing is an important question that comes in the IGCSE ESL exam. So many students find it very difficult. So I will explain why it is so complicated. Okay. So many students find difficulties with identifying the exact relevant and main points that are asked in the question. Some students find it difficult to understand the keywords in the questions. Okay, another students find it difficult to use their own words in rewriting the collected points. Okay, so here we are going to explain what are the basic guidelines for successfully completing a summary writing task and what are the step-by-step strategy for doing that. First of all, we have to understand what are our objectives in writing a summary. Okay, so what do we have to do? What do we have to do? Identify the main relevant points and write them in your own words in an organized manner. That is the task. Here we have to first collect the points and recognize what are the points that the examiner asks us. Secondly, it should be relevant. Okay, it should not be irrelevant points, and it should be up to the point. And write them in your own words. Another one is we have to write in our words rather than the words which are mentioned in the text. And finally, we have to write in an organized manner. How can we organize our writing? By connecting them with proper linking words like firstly, secondly, consequently, as a result of that. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to introduce some guidelines and some strategies how to do this work. Okay, the first step for this is read the questions properly. So here one example is given here. Read the following account of an attempt to save the wild Asian tiger. On the opposite page, write a summary of the reason for the decline in the number of tigers and basically very important, and the steps being taken by the World Wildlife Fund to stop the decline. Your summary should be about 100 words and no more than 120. You should use your own words as far as possible. So, students, here is the question in front of you. You can see what the examiner really want. Think about that for around 2 minutes. So, read the question once, twice, and thrice. Okay, at least 2 times you have to read the question. Underline what the question is asking you to find in the text. That is the very key step. Okay, it's a very relevant point. You should not forget this. So what is asked to do. Underline what the question is asking you to find in the test. So this is the key words in the question, the key areas. Okay. So here two things are asked: the reason for the decline in the number of the digits that I have mentioned using the green color. I have highlighted that with the green color. That is the first point that we have to collect. And another one, the steps being taken by the World Wildlife Fund to stop the decline. Okay, and what are the steps necessary remedial action taken by this World Wide Association for the conservation of the Asian tiger, which are endangered and which are in threat of extinction. Okay, yeah. So these two points you can note it down. If you want, you can give some codes like RD for reason for decline. Okay, and another one is steps taken for the worldwide fund. So in that case, you can write SW, step taken by worldwide wildlife fund, like that code you can give. And under this code, you can collect the points. So these are the basic things, and you should not write anything else. Okay. In addition to that, your summary should be about 100 words, and if you in a course students, you can write 70 words and not more than 80 words. And you should use your own word as far as possible. So you have to make around 75% of the word that you use in the summary own words, and instead of depending on the words in the text, you have to use your own word. That is the main idea. That's the main point, main tip for collecting more marks. We are in the next step now. The summary actually asks us to use our own words as much as possible. So what can we do in this case? So we have to look through each of the eight or more lines we have underlined and try to change one or two words in them particularly to your own words. For example, we can take the word 50 percentage in digits. How can we convert it to an alternative? We can use half for that. Another example, rising. We can change it to increasing. Another word is severe. We can change to bad. Okay. So here this is very important because in the mark scheme it is written that very good use of own words. If you are in that range, we can there are chances that we get 8 marks for that. What are the marking criteria for summary writing? There are two parts for that. One is content, here we can see in reading, that is focusing the reading skill. Secondly, focusing writing skill, that is language. Okay, so let's have a glance or bird's eye view of that first, and after that we will do a deep glance of that. First, we can see the range of marking 7 to 8 for content, here also 7 to 8 for language. So how can we get 7 to 8 marks for content? Include a very good range of relevant point. See task specific mark scheme for details. In the mark scheme it is mentioned that 7 to 8 points. So if we include 7 to 8 points, relevant points, there are chances that we get 7 to 8 marks for that. There is no relevant information, and in addition to that, if we haven't included any relevant points, we can guarantee that we get 7 to 8 marks for content. Secondly, in the language part, points are very well organized and coherent. In the beginning of the essay, we told that we have to rewrite the relevant points in our own words in an organized way. So organization is very important. Yeah, and coherence and the flow. Okay, the connecting of each sentences with proper device linking words or cohesive devices, in another words. So cohesive devices or linking words or signpost words like first, then secondly, firstly, secondly, consequently, as a result. These are the words called cohesive devices or linking words. So cohesive devices are used effectively. Very good use of own words. We have to use our own words. High level of accuracy of vocabulary and grammatical structures. This is also very important. Accuracy of the ranges or the vocabulary and the grammatical structures we use. We can use very good grammatical structures like complex sentence structures. Also, that will enhance the range of our structures. Also, we have to make it accurate. Okay, we have to use it correctly. So if we use the grammatical structures in an accurate way, also we use the proper vocabulary perfectly without making any mistake in the position or in the placement or the meaning, there are chances that we get 7 to 8 marks for content. Here there are little variation between 5 to 6 and 7 to 8. Here if we include 5 to 6 relevant points, we can get 5.6. And in language part, points are well organized and coherent, cohesive devices are used appropriately, good use of one words. Here it was very good use for 7.7 to 8 points marks, and here it is good use and good level of accuracy. It was in 7 to 8 range, it was high level of accuracy, and in the 5 to 6 word it is good level of accuracy. That's the basic differences. And here you can see in 3 to 4, partly organized here, it is not fully organized, and some attempt to use all words. Okay, and in the 1 to 2 range we can see relatively some variation from the real marking criteria, little or no attempt to organize points, and heavy reliance on language from the text, limited control of lexis and grammatical structures, and lexis mean vocabulary. And here you can see 1 to 2 use only a few relevant points, very little points are there, and 0 mark can be given for no response for calculation. Okay, that's very important. If we haven't included any relevant points, we will lose mark not only for content but also for writing. Here we can see an example. Read the following account of an attempt to save the wild Asian tiger. On the opposite page, write a summary of the reason for the decline in the number of tigers and the steps being taken by the World Wildlife Fund to stop the decline. Your summary should be about 100 words and no more than 120. Should use your own words as much as possible. Here, there are two important things here. One is the two keywords in the question. Write summary of the reasons for the decline of the tigers. That is very important here. Secondly, the steps being taken by the World Wildlife Fund to stop the decline. These are the 2 points. We have not done that either by giving them a code, okay, letter codes like for example, a reason for decline, RD for reason for decline, and step taken by World Wildlife Fund, SW like that. After that, we can list out the points that comes under each category, and we have to check the number of words. It is 100 to 120 words for extended and 70 to 80 words for core. So we can see the first paragraph. Read this paragraph that start from as estimated numbers up to parts of Asia. Does this area contain any relevant points? Take your time. Yes, this area contains some relevant points. For example, illegal hunting we can see here. Global ban illegal hunting is mentioned here, and trade in their body parts. Here we can see the trade in their body parts used in traditional medicine that's also mentioned here. Demand for the skins, that is also mentioned here. Okay, so in the same way, this area contains some important points that we can note down. Next, read this part. Does this contain any relevant points? Surely there are. One is habitat destruction is mentioned here. Okay, then forced to live in small areas, in small areas make them easier to find. All the same point, just one point. Okay, so here we can see two alternative points look like different, but it is same. Communities kill tigers to protect themselves and their livestock, and rising sea levels caused by climate change threaten tiger habitat. Okay, let's look at this area. It starts from illegal hunting to around 400. What are the points mentioned here? Illegal hunting is the most serious issue currently facing tigers, but it is not the only thing that threatens their survival in the wild. Extensive habitat destruction due to logging, blah blah blah, like that. We can read up to conservation groups such as the World Wide Fund. The species is still with us today, although in very low numbers of around 400. So, does this area contain any things? Let's see. Surely there are habitat destruction is mentioned here. Extensive habitat destruction due to logging, forced to live in small areas, make them easier to find, or the same points. Okay, one is because of one another thing happen, and communities kill tigers to protect themselves or from their livestock. So they kill the tigers to protect themselves for the self protection. That's also mentioned in the paragraph. Yeah, it is mentioned in this part. Then rising sea level caused by climate change threaten tiger habitat. Also, we can see this area habitat in the coastal area. Okay, then so we have already got around 8 points for the first part. We have only crossed the first half of the first part. Still, one more point is remaining. Let's think about that point also. What are the yes? So we can change for the next part of the question, that is what are the steps taken by the World Wildlife Fund for protecting for the conservation of the tigers that are going to extinct. So does this area contain this read? Recently, the manager of the World Wide Fund have launched an ambitious plan to double the tiger population by the year 2020, blah blah blah, like that. So you take your time and read up to the last the wild tigers, the support of which they so urgently need. Take your time and read and check whether you have found the real points. So we can see year of the tiger is mentioned. There is a step, there is a movement taken by the Wildlife Fund. Another one is anti-hunting patrols. That's also mentioned in the first paragraphs. Yeah, patrols, anti-hunting patrols, and continued supply of the prey. Yeah, that is also mentioned in the same paragraph, I think. Yeah, supply of prey for tiger families, and increase the support of government and the general public. Yeah, that is also mentioned in this paragraph. So these are the main points that we have found. So next what we can do is we can list all the points that we have collected. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 point for the first part of the question and 4 point for the second part. Okay, so what are the points we got? Illegal hunting, reasons of the extinction of the Asian tiger. One is illegal hunting, second trading their body parts, third use in traditional medicine, demand for the skins, habitat destruction, forced to live in small areas, make them easy to find. Communities kill tigers, protect themselves and their livestock. Rising sea level caused by climate change threaten tiger habitats. Okay, so these are the points for the first part, reasons of their extinction, and the second part, year of the tiger, anti-hunting patrols, continued supply of prey, increase the support of governments and general public. So these points are also there. So what we have to do is we need only 8 points. So totally there are 11 points here. We have to take 4 points from each. Okay, so it will collectively it will become 8. So, as it is mentioned in the marking criteria, high level of own words. So, for making that possible, we can try to change some of the words here. So, illegal hunting can be changed to unlawful hunting. Use in traditional medicine can be changed to medications, and territory destruction, habitat destruction can be changed to territory destruction. Community slaughter, we can use community kills instead of kill. We can use slaughter. Rising in sea level, we can into increasing. We can make so many changes that are not mentioned. Also, I have explained it as an example only. We have to You have to use as many changes as possible, as many alternative words as possible, which will enhance and which will confirm getting a full mark for you. And here we can see year of the tiger. It is mentioned as it is. Anti-hunting patrols, continuous supply of prey, increase the support of government and general community. So let's see, write in full sentence. Let's see how can we write it in full sentence. There are many reasons for the decline in the number of tigers. Usually, for the summary, no need of introduction and conclusion. But in some cases, we can use some topic sentence like this. There are many reasons for the decline in the number of tigers. Then directly we can go to the summary part, because we don't want to we don't want any introduction for the summary. Just we gave a topic sentence if only needed. Then first, tigers have been used unlawfully. Tigers have been unlawfully hunted, and hunters try tigers body parts, which are then used in traditional medicine. Here used they use a first, and another word is then. Their skin is also in demand. A linking word. Another reason why the numbers of tigers is declining is that the territories they inhabited are shrinking, making them easy to find. Another linking communities also slaughter tigers to protect themselves and their livestock. The World Wildlife Fund is trying to stop the decline in a number of ways, including we used to including having a year of tiger to raise awareness. There will also be anti-hunting patrols, and the final step is here another linking word to increase the support of governments and the general community. Totally, it has 115 words. If you want, we can reduce some words also. So if you have time, you can reduce some words, like so. We have taken some words here and reduced it to 104 words. So students, this is about summary writing, and after watching this video, you have to go to each and every point and check what are the things that is mentioned, what are the key points mentioned, the marking criteria, also what are the key skills in the summary writing. There are two types of skills are mentioned. Some reading skills are the reading for the relevant points, and also some writing skills are also mentioned. Writing your own words in an organized way with a good cohesion and coherence. Those points should be remembered. Also, the use of a wide range of structures with accuracy. In addition to that, use of vocabulary accurately without making correct placements appropriately. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye.